Many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Rain drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Hello and welcome to La La Land on LA Talk Live. That's Dorothy Dillingham Blue.
And there's Brett Chapin. Hello, hello.
Thanks for joining us on La La Land. This is the only nationally broadcast show by Los Angeles artists about Los Angeles artists on episode 135.
Yes.
Well, here we are.
Here we are. Brett, tell us about our guest today.
Oh, well, our guest is... oh, wait, never mind. So I put something out on social media last night. I don't know any of you that follow us on Twitter at La La Land Talk might have seen it, where I said it took me 135 episodes to do something, and I finally did it. Tune in tomorrow to find out what I did. Well, what I did after... and I'm going to keep pushing that this is after 135 episodes and 3 years on the air.
I am impressed.
Okay. For the first time... I maybe messed up a guest schedule a little bit. Barry Pearl, the amazing Barry Pearl, who is in 12 Angry Men at the Pasadena Playhouse right now. I thought he was coming in today. He's coming in next week.
Okay.
I wrote him an email. I said, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And he's like, wait a minute. And at first I thought he was wrong. I was like, no, wait a minute. He's coming. Oh, wait, no, that's right. He's right. He's coming in next week. So Barry Pearl, the original Duty from Grease, he starred in Baby It's You on Broadway a couple of years ago, and now he's doing 12 Angry Men at the Pasadena Playhouse. He's going to be in to talk to us next week.
Great.
Instead of this week.
Okay.
So we could have canceled the show, or we could have just thrown a rerun on, or we could have gotten an emergency last-minute guest, but... we both figured that since we, from time to time, take a show off to just talk between each other, and
and it works out pretty well.
It works out pretty well. So. Yeah, tell everyone what happened last time. This happened.
Yeah. So last time we did this just no guests show, it was our birthdays. Remember we sat and ate cake and just
I had a hamburger cake.
Right, and I had a giant cupcake one, right?
No, you had a ladybug.
It was a ladybug.
Yeah.
Which we bought at separate Ralph's, but the same thing, like the giant cupcake.
It was weird. Great minds think alike.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, we sat and we talked about what we were looking forward to for the next year, like what our goals were, and we're really trying to throw out what we wanted. And for both of us, they manifested. So you really wanted to do. A lead role in a musical, and I really wanted to do a role in a musical, and I wanted to. I think I even did say I wanted to book a commercial, and both of us, it happened.
It worked out really well last time.
It worked out really well, so we thought, why not?
Should we wish for $1 million this time?
I think we should.
Maybe it'll work out.
I want to book another by the end of the year, and I know, and that I only have 5 weeks left, really. To get the booking done. The shoot could be later, but I have until about the 15th or the 20th of December to book it.
Well, if you're going out, even twice a week, that's 10, 14 chances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's really good. I had an almost, make my agent mad moment this week. But then I thought, wait a minute.
Not you.
I know.
You're so nice.
I am nice. And it wasn't that I wasn't being nice. It's that I had a brain fart. And the reason is I do the Big Lots voiceover. I'm their voice for their commercials. And they don't do all of them at the same time. They do them week by week because what they want to focus on changes as far as what the corporate wants.
Right.
So we actually had to go back and re-record the ones that are coming out because they changed what they wanted to focus on. So I'm back, and the only time we could all get together, because in my earphones I'll have Seattle, sometimes Minneapolis, Chicago, and also the booth. They're all in my head. It's like I'm a schizo. Only time was at 8 o'clock in the morning. and in Hollywood. And I don't live in Hollywood. It's not a bad drive, but it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not much before, say, 9. So
So were you late to the
I
audition?
wasn't
or?
late. No, I was on time, and we did the session. It was great. But then I'm on my way home, and I was caught in westbound rush hour traffic because it was 9:15 in the morning. I'm like, oh, I remember this when I used to work on the west side and live on the east side.
Oh.
And I got a ding that I had a same day audition, and I was going to be running around. So I emailed my agent about time frames instead of his assistant, which is what I was supposed to do. But he was nice about it. But then he kind of put out a blanket thing of like, don't do that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a better list for myself as far as the procedures that are in place for my representation.
Well, there you go.
There you
And
go.
Then you won't annoy anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it
Cool.
was early in the morning, you know.
Yeah.
And I
these
want
things
theatrical representation and voiceover representation.
happen. You're just gonna say it all.
I'm gonna
just
say it
in-
all.
just in case.
I want it all. I want it all. So-
I want it all too. I'll get specific later on in the
Okay.
show.
Great.
Suppose. You saw musical last night.
Y'all. Oh my god.
Oh, and by the way, we want you guys to participate in this
Yes,
discussion too. Sorry
please.
to cut you off. It's 323-473-3100. 323-473-3100.
Mm-hmm.
Questions, comments. If you want to tell us
Advice.
that we look very good today, advice. If you have any medical issues, we can refer you to a doctor. I don't know.
I have
whatever.
a great dentist. I love my dentist office. Like, how often do you hear somebody say that?
I kind of love my dentist office too, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love mine. Mine are the Kaufmans. They're a father-son team. It's so cute.
Mine is Southland Dental.
Very nice. Anyway,
Musicals.
musicals.
Yes.
It's at the Chromaloom Theater, which it doesn't say Chromaloom on it. It says the Attic. So I got a little confused.
Yeah.
But it's down on Washington Boulevard, just east of Fairfax, and really easy to get to. By the way, you'd think it'd be like all out of the way, but it's not. It's very easy to get to. And so I didn't know really anything about this when I got there. I knew that the lovely and talented Kristen Towers-Rolls was directing.
I
So-
know her.
You do know her. You've known her for a while. So I thought, well, why not? And I missed when she had co-directed Little Women, so I was like, I got to go see. And also, I knew we didn't have any guests today, and I had something to talk about. So off I go, and my friend Darcy Silvera went with me. She was in Spelling Bee with me, and she did, Leading Ladies over at the Culver City Public Theater this summer. And so I went, and here's the thing about musicals. Even if you hate musicals, if you know musicals, and if you love them, hate them, but if you know musicals, you should really wear really clean underwear, because I was laughing so hard. My face still hurts today because I was laughing so hard, and I tend to get whoopy. Like when I really laugh, you're like, like I get really whoopy, and it was a mess. I could barely keep it together. What they do is the whole idea is that there's basically 4 stock characters in all musicals, and that all musicals are about the same thing, and it's about that there's a girl who can't pay the rent. And so there's this fight over the landlord who manifests himself in many different ways, and there's the diva. So there's the ingenue, the diva, the villain, and the leading man. So they're all those characters, but they're played by the same 4 people. There's 5 different little mini musicals in it, and within each little mini musical, they're referencing 7 or 8 different musicals. It was bonkers. For instance, the first little mini musical, it was called Corn. So it was a riff on Oklahoma. So they did all these crazy stuff with. It's in the style of Rodgers and Hammerstein. So all the music has a theme. So that was hysterical. And then they did A Little Complex. That's the one that's in the style of Stephen Sondheim. So it was an apartment complex called The Wood. And then this time the landlord was kind of like Sweeney Todd. It was just really weird. And it was so great. But they had a lot of references, not just to the musicals, but to what it's like to be in a musical, which I really appreciated. You know, the set changes that took too long, or the set pieces that were given like way more attention than they were needed. And you have to go and see some of the visuals that they did, because it's a bare stage pretty much. It's everyone, they're all wearing black. The stage is basically black. It's one upright piano and a pianist on stage. That's it. And there's, two entrances, a couple, a platform, some stairs. That's really it. It's very bare bones. But but it was hysterical. And yeah, and my super props go out to the 4 actors. Because let me tell you, I was exhausted just from watching the show. And I can only imagine how tired they were after seeing it. And they had 3 weeks to put this together. Did you know that?
No.
3 weeks. And it is so much music in perfect 4-part harmony. I'm blown away. If they'd said, "Oh yeah, we won Hollywood Fringe and we're taking this to off Broadway," I would have been like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." It was that good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They should sponsor our show. And we can talk about them every week.
Sure.
James Esposito, I'm talking to you. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah. But go see Musical of Musicals.
Absolutely.
At
So
the
it's
Cumberland Theater.
running. I don't have the dates. It's running it just opened. I went to the opening night. It was fantastic.
It's running for a while.
It is. So please go see it, because I had such a good time. Really, if you enjoy musicals. But the funny thing is, even if you don't like them, it's actually funny too. So
It's like title of show. I feel like with title of show, people that don't like musicals will like it.
Okay.
Because it's... Do you know that show?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. Go see it. It's all about the making of a musical
Oh,
and the process and the funny things that happen. The 2 main characters are the 2 writers of the musical and their
Okay.
girlfriends. It's just 4 people. It's
Oh.
great.
yeah, chamber musicals. I think, remember Janet Miller was talking about how, that they're, especially with the environment that we have in LA, that sometimes these giant musicals, it's hard to mount them, and that we need to start giving more time to these smaller musicals, these smaller casts.
That's what that's what I say a lot at Theater Palisades.
Yeah.
I think we do the smaller musicals well. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, smaller musicals are great.
Yeah.
All the Jason Robert Brown stuff. All the there's a lot of stuff that's come out recently.
Excellent.
On Saturday night, I went to see The Lion in Winter at the Sierra
right.
Madre Playhouse.
Ooh.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always refreshing to see a smaller theater that's kind of out there off of the main drag of Los Angeles, and to go out to see a theater like that where a show's done really, really well. Because nothing against Sierra Madre Playhouse, but you wouldn't expect that from a theater that's not in the heart of LA.
Of course.
In LA
Yeah.
proper. But they did a fantastic job. Their queen was amazing. It was some Shakespeare. I haven't seen Shakespeare in a real long time. Although we just had the City Shakes Macbeth.
Right.
Our friends from City Shakes in
City Shakes.
that same week. And I didn't even mention to them that I was going to see some Shakespeare that night. But yeah, The Lion in Winter, go see it at the Sierra Madre Playhouse. It's a really good show.
And remind everybody what that show is about.
It's about winter and there's a lion. No, it's about a king.
So it's kind of like Narnia?
Yeah, I know.
But Eric is like, oh.
It's about a king and he has 3 sons and the situations that he gets into and the troubles he encounters.
Uh-huh.
And it's really, really good.
So it's it's kind of a universal thing if you think about it. A lot of times there's a fight over things.
Oh, yeah. Especially with 3 sons.
Yep.
My 3 sons.
Ah.
Yeah, so go see The Lion in Winter at the Sierra Madre Playhouse. It's really, really good.
Excellent.
Break a Leg, by the way, to Theater Palisades. The Foreigner opened last night.
Yes.
Break a Leg to the Kentwood Players, who opened It's a Wonderful Life. Go see both those shows. They're really good. This is like one big hour-long theater minute, I feel like it's going to be.
I guess so.
But, we can transition to other things, too.
Sure.
If you want to join in the conversation, guys, give us a call at 323-473-3100, 323-473-3100. We want to talk to you. Sunday, I went to the Ovation Awards.
Yes, tell us
So
all
much
about it.
Fun. Did you
And
see the
you're-
pictures I posted?
I did not. It
I
was weird. I
posted
was
a
like,
bunch of pictures.
I don't know what- so you're an Ovation voter,
Yes.
correct?
Mhm.
So, and that's a big process. Like you got to go see a lot of stuff.
You do. You have to see a minimum amount of shows per month. And what the Ovation Awards are, it's the award ceremony for the LA Stage Alliance. For those that don't know, and the LA Stage Alliance is a group that was formed to basically facilitate theaters for success. They help them with whatever they need. They just opened a big warehouse where theaters can rent props. And they put on the Ovation Awards every year where 250 voters have to vote on a certain amount of shows per year, and the top shows receive Ovation Awards. It's kind of like the Los Angeles version of the Tony Awards.
Great.
And it was fantastic. There's a lot of information on it at lastagealliance.com and lastageovations.com as well. But it's a big ceremony. We had it at the San Gabriel Mission Playhouse.
What a beautiful
over in-
space.
Have you been there? It's amazing,
No,
isn't it?
I was looking at those pictures from it. That's right. I did find your pictures. Yes,
Yeah.
because I was like, what?
Isn't it great?
Beautiful.
Out in San Gabriel, where you would not think a theater would be,
Nope.
but it's great. Right there by the Mission. There's had to have been over 2,000 people there. It was a big event.
Wow. Well, what were
lot of
some
people.
highlights from it?
Michael McKean was the host,
Mm-hmm.
who's hilarious. We love him. And, some highlights. I just loved everybody breaking their Ovation Awards during their acceptance speeches. That was
Did you say
interest-
breaking them?
3 different people.
They broke them?
Accidentally.
Uh-huh.
The bases kept... I don't know if I should even be talking about this too much, but I'll just say it. The bases kept falling off. And so the person would be doing their speech and they'd put their award down and all of a sudden there would crack and then somebody would come out from the wings and bring them a new one. So at least they had some extras there. So that was kind of funny. But more importantly, it's honoring Los Angeles's best theater producers, actors, and creative types of all type.
Were there any
and-
sweeps or anything like that? Or
I don't think there were any sweeps. I know Parade at 3D Theatricals won a lot of awards. And there were a couple others that won a lot, but there wasn't, it seemed like pretty evenly matched.
Okay.
And it's great. There's, hors d'oeuvres and wine and a photo booth and a red carpet. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. To become an Ovation voter, there's a pretty large vetting process that you have to go through. You write an essay and you have an interview in front of a panel. But it's really 250 of the best theater people in LA. So if you are involved in theater in any way, even as an actor, I'd encourage anybody to become a voter. Go on lastagealliance.com to find information about it because it's great and you can really feel like you're participating in the community. Yeah.
Excellent.
So the Ovation Awards were fun. Congratulations to all the winners and nominees.
Now, did they have performances during the ceremony, or is it just award? Or?
They did. David O conducted, and they had... I didn't even tell you about this part. Okay. So there's
Aren't you glad I'm here?
I am. Thank you for reminding me. There's a girl. I don't even know what the instrument's called, but it's like a harp, but the strings went from the stage all the way up over the audience's head to the back of the house.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know, but she's playing it like it's a guitar, and you can hear the sound above you, and it's really cool. I don't know what type of an instrument it is, and maybe
Please,
we'll have
someone
David
call
O.
323-473-3100 if you know what the hell that was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I can look online during the break or something, but
Sure.
if there's any Ovation people or Ovation voters that want to call in real quick and tell us who that
Yeah.
amazing musical artist was, she was genius, as were all the musicians that were there.
Cool.
So there's some live music. There's Val Kilmer was one of the presenters. Michael McKean was there. I'm blanking on his name now, but he was in Wings, not Tim Daly, but Steven Weber. Steven Weber was there. So yeah, it's a really good show.
Cool.
Go support your local Los Angeles theater.
Yes. Go and support.
Yeah.
Cool.
Guess what else? Guess what happened last night?
What?
This is exciting.
What?
So, do you know JoJo, the radio host? He was on Kiss FM for a while. I'm not quite sure if he's still there.
No.
But okay. Well, JoJo, anyway, has been retweeting our stuff lately.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you, JoJo.
And so happy birthday to you, JoJo. And thank you for your retweets and
Yes.
support of La La Land.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of my favorites in radio. So thank you for that. Quick shout out to JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got, Dorothy?
Well,
What
you
else?
said what happened last night, but what did that have to do with last night?
Oh, last night just JoJo was retweeting our stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you have any questions, give us a call at 323-473-3100. 323-473-3100. Yeah, that's everything on my list.
Great.
You know what would be cool to talk about, though? Would be, I don't know, like you're one of those actors that really uses social media a lot
Me?
for your
Yeah.
performing. Got a
Yes.
Twitter account, got a Facebook account.
Yes.
Um,
I don't have a website though. Like I'm missing that link, which I think is
You're missing the website, but you are pretty active on
Yes.
social media. Mm-hmm. How do you think? I'd love to get into a discussion with a caller on this, but how do you think that that improves your chances of success?
I think what do you define as success? Do you know?
Getting an audition.
Getting an audition.
Yeah.
I think it does increase that. Here's why. Is
Okay.
that I have this, there's a casting director that I think I mentioned it before. I'd met it at a workshop 13 years ago. And maybe like last year or so, somehow I noticed he was on Facebook through somebody else. And so I friended him, he friended me back. And so everything that I've done, every time you can do an event, I always invite him. And he's never come to something that I've seen. But I got a call out of the blue, and while I was in Chicago shooting all the Big Lot stuff, and he's like, "Well, hey there, Coney Bear," which means the casting director had been following what I had been up to. I did Spelling Bee in the spring, and he even referred directly to the show.
So you got the Big Lots thing through
No,
Twitter?
I didn't get the Big Lots thing through there, but this guy actually, it's Paul DeMacrylis. He was the Los
I know
Angeles, he was the Los Angeles liaison for the casting for Parfumery, which is the inaugural show for the Wallace Annenberg Center. So that opens in a couple weeks. But anyway, so he was they were casting it. The head of casting for that was in New York, but he was the Los Angeles liaison, and he brought me into an audition for that.
You never know.
And you never know. And mind you, like 13 years. Like, they've been 13 years. And, but it goes to show that you really, everything you're doing online is being observed. So I tend to think that there are a lot of people that put a lot of frustrations on Facebook, and that's okay. If that's what they want to do. But I know for a fact that if I'm kind of trolling to see who I want to work with, I'm not going to want to work with the negative Nellies of the world. You know, I'm going to be like, hey, I've took this break. So, I mean, everything I've talked about, even if it was, that was a tough rehearsal, but man, I'm glad I'm back. You know, you have to keep it positive.
I hate reading that stuff on my feed. Honestly, I do.
The negative
The
stuff
negative
or the
stuff.
Oh yeah, I can't deal. I mean,
It's just,
if I haven't unfriended people, but I have taken them off my feed just because I don't need it. Like, I'd rather watch, funny videos of their kids, on Halloween or something like that. That's what I want to see. Or I do want to see people's successes. I mean, that's how I found out. My friend Rebecca Goodrich Season, she was, you never know what's going to inspire somebody else. Okay. So we were we were in high school together, and she, got married a bit earlier and had 3 children right away and all this kind of thing. And she went to Wake Forest with a beautiful, soprano voice. She was Maria when we did Sound of Music. I mean, she was like the one to aspire to. But that wasn't the path. But performing and doing that as a profession was not the path that she chose. And she didn't choose a a lesser path. She just chose one that she wanted for herself. She tried. She wanted to do journalism, and she didn't find any joy in it. So she did the mom thing, 3 kids, that whole thing, stayed in the choir. And then, what was it? Gosh, 4 months ago, at one of the theaters where we had both worked when we were kids, they were doing Les Mis. So she decided to audition. She just decided to audition, like out of the blue. And she got Fontaine, like that.
That's great.
And I was not surprised at all. But I had to talk to her. I was talking to her before. She goes, it was really hard to explain to my kids that I wasn't going to be able to go to absolutely everything they do for the next couple months. I'm like, but, remember, Rebecca, it's okay. She goes, well, you seem to be having so much fun. So I was like, yes, you got to do it.
So how does social media help her? Are you saying that it helps her as well?
I think it helped her in seeing that that you can be a mom and a performer at the same time, and that it's not too late to do so.
Because
And-
she saw your stuff?
Yeah, mine and other people's. I'm not the only one. There are many of us that are together on Facebook, and kind of some of us perform, some of us have taken a break and all that kind of thing. But I think that was an encouraging thing for her to see, like, okay, well, she can juggle it. Maybe I can too.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And then for me, I do think that when people see that you're busy, then they're like, well, if she's so busy doing good stuff, maybe she can like squeeze in a project for me too.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know.
I mean, I've heard of people. Jason Ritter just put out a major casting notice for his latest movie, looking for a 15-year-old football player, I think,
Yeah.
on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Only put it on Twitter, and I think he's gotten thousands of responses so far.
Well, that's something that's very specific. I do audiobooks through Random House, and I booked that through Craigslist.
Yeah.
Craigslist. The first time I went in, it was an audition that I found on Craigslist because they were looking for a specific type. That's the other thing. Not only do you have to put yourself out there on social media and on the web-tasticness of it all, but you got to go find it too. You have to. Those avenues are there. You have to seek it out.
I can't stand the complaint of my agent never gets me any auditions. It's what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing to put yourself out there?
Yeah, you have to do that. You got to
yeah.
get these. There's an Actors Access account. It's $89 for the year. Like seriously,
68.
$68 for the year for
It's
a
nothing.
year. It's not. It's real. It's nothing. It's really nothing.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing that, and you can do it on your phone, like I submit every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
People submit demo reels all the time that they recorded on their phone.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's something to be said for getting a professional demo reel, don't get me wrong. But if you have a quick audition that you need to get something up quick and you don't have the money or you don't have the time to do that, do it on your phone.
Do
There's
it on
nothing
the
wrong
phone.
with that.
I submitted my tape from the phone in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom going, I really want to be the host of La La Land.
That's right. That's right. And look at you now.
Oh, look at me now. Oh, so glamorous.
And even if it's even if it's a quick thing, I mean, it's better than not submitting at all because then your chances are zero.
Right.
I don't know. I think that there's a lot of excuses that actors do, and I do it myself. I'm just as guilty to allow themselves not to be successful.
Right.
And you got to get past all that. This is one of the hardest industries in the world to break into, and you gotta persevere.
Yeah, I think you also need to pass it on, though. I mean, as much as we're persevering ourselves, I think you got to take that moment to think about karma.
Oh, not me. I don't care about other people.
I know you don't give a crap, but like if you're working with somebody and you like how they work,
Yeah.
and I always try to refer friends, always, because you just never know. I mean, it'll come back to you. I promise it will come back in good ways.
Oh my gosh, I got into the union by going to a party. Randomness.
Yeah.
10 years doing background work, I didn't get a single voucher. I went to a party. I met my friend Jen. 2 years later, she contacts me. She's shooting a movie. Do I want a Taft-Hartley? I mean, it's just you never know.
You never know.
Yeah. So keep your
never
connections. Keep your friends. Try not to burn bridges unless they're very poisonous people. And in that case, I guess it's okay. But yeah, try and stay positive. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. People aren't really asking for advice, but I'm throwing it out there because I think it's important. Because I do hear I see a lot of the actors posting the negative stuff on social media. You know, why isn't this working out? Why isn't that working out? And I do it too. I get how frustrating it can be, but you just got to keep going. You
Right.
know?
And I think also, like right now, I'm at this point where the past, 5 to 8 years or so, I've because I wasn't booking things as an actor, I started working and doing teaching and directing, which is not a lesser choice by any means, but
Mm-hmm.
it's something. It's about taking the craft that you know and you love and passing it on to someone else and helping other people's dreams come true. And that
Exactly.
I had a wonderful time doing that. What's interesting now is that people are I'm getting more. I just got an offer about directing another play, but I knew it would take up so much time, not only physically but emotionally, that I've decided to save some for myself.
Well, yeah, you have to. You
I
can't
have
drive
to
yourself
save that for
crazy.
myself. I really do.
You do.
know?
And this show even, I mean, this show was even born out of my wanting to get more auditions and not being able to get them. And, I said, let me just do something on my own and make my
Yeah.
own work. So it's,
Remember when Gary Anthony was talking about, you have to pursue your own work, make something that you would want to be in.
yeah. Even if it's a stupid movie that you film on your cell phone, it's still, you're still being creative and you're still being
Yeah.
an artist and you're still, putting yourself out there. And I think that's important. Make a video, upload it to YouTube. You never know who can see it. It's ridiculous the amount of YouTube celebrities that I see with 10 million hits, and they just have a silly video that they did,
Yeah.
and not that they're not great videos, but it's surprising to me the things that people respond to.
Right.
You
You
know.
never know.
Yeah, you really don't.
Yeah.
There was a guy that I saw that just has a frog on his hand. It's like a frog puppet, and he's mouthing the words to Billie Jean, and it has like 8 million views because it's hilarious. But it's not something that it's not like he was some big actor or big filmmaker that produced a multi-million-dollar movie. He just has a sock puppet, So get your stuff out there. Be creative.
Wear a sock puppet.
Yes. Hopefully on your hand.
Hopefully on your hand.
323-473-3100 if you want to talk about sock puppets or anything else for that matter. I don't know. Your turn. Ask me a question. We got 15
So-
minutes to kill here.
So Brett, let's see. What you right now? You're working with some very seasoned actors with the Bel Airs, correct?
I didn't even talk about that.
Right.
Yes.
So my question is, from observing them work and observing them backstage and everything,
Yes.
what are some of the takeaways that you've had? Because this is one of those, maybe your part's not that large, but the things that you gain in the experience are certainly very valuable. So
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
us about the things that you've learned from these seasoned veterans.
There's no small parts, just small actors.
Correct.
Yeah. Or small set pieces. What I've learned from these actors, and I'm working on a show called The Bel Airs at the El Portal Theater. We open on Friday and we run until December 8th. Everybody else in the show, except for myself and one other person, is older than I am, ranging in age from about...
That's
I don't want
really
to. I don't want to make anybody mad. So I'm going to say ranging in age from about 40 to 65. So
okay.
everyone's older, and it's one of the first times that I've worked on a show where everyone is older since I worked when I was young, and it's been really great because this is one of the shows where they really are making sure that they follow the equity rules. So
Oh,
we're getting our
yes.
breaks on time, we're getting paid on time, we're
You're getting paid?
yeah.
So exciting.
Imagine that. I know. I'm making money as an actor in LA. When does that happen? And
Less than it should.
yeah, honestly. And they are working with equity to make sure they follow all the rules and do everything on the up and up. So I'm learning that that's important.
Yes.
Yeah, and I already knew that that was important, but I guess you don't take time to consider how important it is. I've done a lot of 99-seat shows or a few 99-seat shows that did not follow those rules as strongly, and this one does, so that's really nice. Also, I'm getting to hear some great stories.
Oh, I'm
from these
sure.
people. Yeah, about different celebrities they met and different work that they've done. It's great, and then just to see them on stage and be on stage with them, and they're bringing into it 40 years of experience. They're bringing into it more than twice my experience, and I feel like I'm learning a lot as an actor too in my craft. I really.
What's an example of that?
I don't know if I can think of specific examples, but I'd say just in the way, just watching another actor deliver their lines. I'm talking specifically about one of the actors that I have a lot of scenes with. His name's Dimitri Christie, great actor, and just watching him deliver his lines and watching what a strong presence he has with his character has been great.
Yeah.
I'm really learning a lot. I think that's important. I'd like to do more shows with people that are older than me. Not that I can't learn from younger people too, but it's just the older people bring with them such experience.
Yes.
That it helps.
I remember I watched. I was at a preview.
So go see the Bel Airs.
Go see the Bel Airs.
Yeah.
It opens Friday at the Old Portal. I remember watching Uta Hagen in her last show, which was 6 dance lessons in 6 weeks. It was at the Geffen. And I went to one of the preview performances. And mind you, by this time, she's in her 80s when she's doing the show. Wow. With David Hyde Pierce. So it's a 2-person show.
I hear he's really nice.
I hear so too. And here was the most fascinating thing is that, she literally wrote books on acting.
Yeah.
This is the woman. This is her. But when you get on stage, it's a great, what did they say? Neutralizer?
Equalizer.
Equalizer, thank you. The stage is a great equalizer because anything can happen on stage. And it was during the previews, and she was having a hard time with the lines because there's only 2 of them, and it's a very dialogue-heavy 2-act play. So she's having some difficulty with the lines. And I can hear the stage manager prompting her off stage. And I've got nosebleed seats, y'all. I mean, it's like way in the back. And every time the stage manager did that, her shoulders went up and up and up and up and up and up. And I could see that she was having such a hard time. And so they're sitting, she and David Hyde Pierce are sitting on this settee, and they're having this conversation. And there was a pause. And you could tell she was thinking. And it was so slight. He never lost eye contact with her. Never. But what he did is, he had this listening look, and I saw his hand, because they were sitting across from each other, his hand slide across, and he put it over her hand, and I saw a squeeze. And it was so small, but, it was one of those things like, what is going on? And then I saw him kind of just nod at her, and her shoulders dropped, her posture went back up, and she was game on from the end of that, because that was about the 3rd scene of the first act. And it was just, she was having a tough time. But from then on, it was one of those things where, oh yeah, this is a play with 2 people in it. It's not just about me struggling. Why do I remember that there's someone else on the stage that's going through this with me? And I don't know if that's what was going through her head, or if it was just
slip her cliff notes, or what was he doing with his hand?
No, it was
He was
just an
just showing
energy thing
support.
of like, you can do this.
Yeah.
You can do this. I'm here for you. I am here for you. And that's something that people don't always remember on stage, that you're not up there alone. You're up there with a lot of, sometimes you're just up there with one person. And sometimes even with the 1-person show, there's still your crew. Like, your crew is there to help you and all that. So that's what, I don't know.
No, it's true. I mean, you and I don't know if you've ever worked on stage with somebody where you can see them acting, or they're not really listening to you. They're just kind of waiting to say their next line.
Yes, I have been there.
And yeah, we've all been there every once in a while. And it's so distracting.
It's so distracting.
And it takes me personally out of my performance.
Yeah, because they're not there. They're sorting colors and whites and ready for the laundry. You know, they're not really in character.
Right.
And so it's very difficult to have an onstage humming relationship with somebody when they're going.
Like Uda was not there until she got
Yes.
her support.
I think, you know, and there's a lot of pressure when you have written the book on acting.
Yeah.
And you're having problems with your lines.
Definitely.
And I mean, I would have had a lot of problems with the lines. It's two acts full of just being on stage with one person. She's not off stage at all, really. Well, I mean, she is for a couple set changes, but still, I mean, it was a very dialogue heavy show.
Sure.
But I think it's remembering that you're on there to. It's the relationships. People come to watch the relationship, and if you're acting in this vacuum of yourself and you don't bring in the other people or the audience, then you're going to make it harder for yourself. Have fun, and for the love of God, have fun.
Yeah. Most importantly, more than anything else,
Jeez Louise.
don't put so much pressure on yourself.
Oh man.
Oh, I see actor. You've seen them in the audition room, and they're all stressed, and they're reading their stuff, and they're real nervous. You can tell.
You can
a casting
tell.
director can tell when an actor's all wound up, and why do they want to hire that person?
Oh no.
I've been guilty of it too. My first audition, my knees were shaking.
Really?
Shaking, singing my song. It was for Disney, and I was like, "Oh my! This is my big chance. This is my only chance ever. I'm ever going to get hired." I was like, 10 or something. But I mean, yeah, you can't be nervous like that.
I heard when you think of that, you only get one chance thing.
Yeah.
I have a great. Oh, okay. So I was talking to Nick Anderson last week. He
Is he Louis Anderson's brother?
No.
All right, sorry.
He's a casting director, and he was kind of prepping me for this Age at Night that I'm doing tomorrow. So fingers crossed, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling the group, he goes, there really aren't that many casting directors. So even if you do, and he goes, an audition is that one moment in the room, sure, but don't let it ruin your day, your life, your year, because we need a lot of people all the time. So just come in, have a good attitude, be happy to be there, give it what you got, and then leave it alone, because we most likely will call you at some point again.
And I really do think that casting directors are on your side. I think they want the people to succeed, because they're I mean, it makes their day, it makes their job easier, it makes their day go faster. You know, they really do want you to succeed. Casting directors are not against you.
No.
In spite of what some people think. Yeah.
No.
And I don't even feel like it's much of a competition in an audition between actors. I think the main person you're competing against is yourself and your own nerves.
Oh yeah.
I used to walk into auditions and look at the different
survey
guys
the lobby.
and be
You surveyed the lobby, didn't you? Like, what's up?
Yeah.
We're all,
We all do, and I still do a little bit. I think we all do a little bit, but it's much less now than when it used to be, because I would go in and see people who looked perfect for the part, and they would just mess up their audition.
Yeah.
Or I'd see people that weren't so great for the part that did great.
Exactly.
You just never know. You never know what's in a casting director's head.
Yeah.
Hey, Van Eric.
Hey, Van
Engineer co-owner.
Hi, how you doing? I have a little story, because when I first came to California, I wanted to try the extra scene.
Oh,
and all that.
yeah, doing some background work.
And I went to a couple of auditions, and I remember one audition I went to, I was really nervous, because I seen a lot of people. I said, these people be doing this all the time. And you can actually hear some of the auditions that was going on. And I remember looking at this one young lady. I said, I know she's going to nail it. And she did worse than I did. And then when I got in there, I didn't get the part, but one part that I did get, I was supposed to be a prisoner in this movie. And I go in there trying to be like a thug, and the first thing the casting director said, "You're a cop." And I tried to go in there looking, trying to be a prisoner, but he said, "You're a cop. That's what you're going to be."
You never know how these guys are going to see you. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it was fun, and I had them tap me all up. It was when I got to the dressing room, they put tattoos all on me and all that.
Yeah.
And I know I was in the movie because the gentleman who was in charge of us, he told me a couple of times, "No, you sit this one out because you're too familiar." So,
oh, right.
What movie is this? Where can we see you?
What was the movie? It slips my mind. It's been so long ago, but it was a movie about the Russian mafia gang, that was.
If you
It-
think of it, tell us next
I
week.
will. Yeah, I will.
Seriously, yeah.
But
We'll put your part up online.
yeah, but I was one of the prisoners watching the soccer game, and there was three main characters, and one of them I was standing behind off camera, and when it was his turn to go on camera, they told me to wait like a couple of seconds, then walk by him, and I almost had the uncontrollable urge to want to like look over at him, but I knew if I did, they would probably got mad at me, so I didn't look, and I just kept right on going.
Yeah, they don't like it when you do that. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Van Eric, our guest from last week, Ashley.
Ashley Nicole Black.
Yeah,
She said
guess what?
she actually, your name was familiar because she studied you in college.
She studied your band.
She studied your band.
You
Our
said you
band?
were the first black punk rock band.
Yeah. I was involved with the first all-black punk rock band,
Yeah.
What were they called again?
Pure Hell.
Yeah,
Yes.
she said she
Yes.
knew Pure Hell and that they studied you guys in high school.
Yes. I was like, Ashley, why didn't you say anything? He goes, oh, I didn't want to think that. I go, oh, I'm.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Isn't that funny?
That
Like,
is so cool.
you were the
Yeah.
subject of a class.
of a class.
And it was
Wow.
because the class she was taking was alternative African American
Music.
groupings or something
Oh,
like
okay.
what you know.
Oh wow.
And punk rock was one of the alternatives. Yeah,
They
a
study
themes or
this
something.
man in college.
Yes.
Wow,
amazing.
that's crazy.
Isn't that cool?
That is so cool.
That's really cool. Hey, you gotta
Wow.
bring in your band's music sometime. We'll play it in your
Yeah.
commercials. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, because they did a remake of "Boots Are Made for Walking" by Nancy Sinatra,
Uh-huh.
which is real cool.
Yeah.
I'll put that on your playlist
Yeah,
please
please do.
and play it next week.
What are you playing guitar? Are you playing? What
no,
are you doing?
I basically was the guy, roadie, basically.
Uh-huh.
They just liked me, so they let me hang out.
Did you like sit on the stage and say the year?
Yeah, I would sit on the stage.
Say the
you know
year?
what I mean? Not
What's
the
that
year,
about?
but I would just
You
sit
know,
on the
2003.
I would just be on the stage because we was mosh dancing and out jumping out in the audience and
Oh my
stuff like
God.
that.
That's cool.
I never understood the mosh pits. I didn't understand that.
That's the animalistic part of the human person. Just
Have you
letting-
ever been in a crowd and just wanted to do that though? The mosh pit is your
Yes.
opportunity
I'm in the
to be able
sinking
to do
chair
it.
today. Hang on.
It's going down like the Titanic, Dorothy. Grab a life raft. Grab a life raft. Give us a call at 323-473-3100.
See, I mean, look, I'm like a foot taller.
Look at that.
She was sinking like the Titanic.
I know. All of a sudden, I'm like,
Huh.
why am I like this?
That's like
Honey, I
that's-
Shrunk the
that-
Kids.
Yeah, I was going to
Great
say the
movie.
Wizard of Oz. I'm shrinking.
Yeah.
I'm melting.
Oh.
Speaking of Wizard of Oz,
Yes.
I don't know. Go see Oz, the Great and Powerful, because our friend Deborah Puett is in it. That's what.
Oh yeah,
Speaking of Wizard of Oz.
yeah. I've been watching that too. What is?
Have you seen it?
It's
I've
on
seen
DVD
it.
now. Is it on DVD?
It is.
right now.
It is.
No, I've been watching it on HBO. And
You're right. It is.
It's
Yeah.
not on DVD yet?
It
Yeah,
is. I
yeah.
think it's on demand. And
Okay.
those sort of things.
Yeah.
Oz, the Great and Powerful. So she's the she's the bread woman. I guess she
Oh yeah,
comes out
I
and says,
seen
I
it.
have bread.
I have bread. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, because on Pathway to Love, Steven, the gentleman that used to co-host with Julie Olaf, he's one of the soldiers.
Oh, cool. I
In
wonder
that
if they
movie.
met.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's awesome. And congratulations, too, to Deborah Puett for opening Rabbit Hole at La Mirada
Oh, great.
Center for the Performing Arts.
Very nice.
It's getting some great reviews.
Yay.
Oh, my gosh. We're amazing, aren't we?
We are.
We give love all over the place. We give
We
love to
do.
Theater Palisades, Deborah Puett. We give love to engineer and co-owner Van Eric.
We do. You know what? I have a couple announcement things.
Go for it.
Okay. So one is if you are in the Los Angeles area and you are female and between 22 and 65 plus, they are having auditions today and Tuesday.
Oh, I thought you were saying... Okay, go.
Tuesday for Talking With at Theater Palisades.
Oh, yeah.
And in case you're unfamiliar with the show, it's a series of solo pieces split into 2 acts. And it's all, different women's journeys. And they're very popular. It's very popular speeches. You may have heard some of them before if you've done competitions or thing like that. But to see them all in one night is actually a very unusual thing. So go audition for that. And if you are between the age of 8 and 15, I am having auditions for our new show for Theater Palisades Youth, which is called Ever After the Musical. It's a fractured fairy tale with a daytime talk show twist. And that is going to be the 21st and 23rd of November at the theater. So if you want information on that, you can go to theaterpalisades.com.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Ever After, huh?
Ever After.
See, we give audition information
We
on this
do.
show. We give opportunities for people to get jobs.
Yes,
We provide a service here on La La Land Talk.
it's true. We do.
Good stuff. Next week.
Next week we have.
Next week,
What do we have next week?
we finally have the amazing
We finally
Barry
have the
Pearl.
amazing Barry Pearl.
Yes,
We're so excited to see you.
we are excited to see you, Barry.
Totally.
And we're very fortunate that you have a wonderful sense of humor
Yes.
and
Thank you.
didn't get too mad at us.
Anybody who plays a
For
character called
misscheduling you.
Duty, I mean, you got to have a good sense of humor with that one.
You know, I pay taxes, I pay rent, I have all kinds of responsibilities, and I still laugh anytime somebody says the word duty.
I know.
Isn't it ridiculous?
You can't help that.
It's-
I think it's
What's
human
going on?
nature. It's human nature.
Oh, and also, I'm doing for the third year in a row
What?
a live on-air flu shot with Joe Colin of CVS Pharmacy.
Exactly.
That's coming
get your
up at
flu
the end
shot,
of the month.
People. Like, just get it.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And since you've already gotten yours and you
Already
can't
gotten
get
mine.
yours yet, I've convinced our amazing intern Sophie to get one with me.
No flu for Sophie.
Van Eric, are you in? You want to get a flu shot with me?
I'll be a guinea pig this
Oh,
year.
yay!
All right.
I'll
Very
do that.
nice.
I'll do that as well.
3
Excellent.
flu shots.
3 flu
Okay.
shots. It does not hurt.
Mm-hmm. Get your flu shots, people.
Get your flu shot. If you've had the flu, it's just gnarly. And it doesn't mean you're protected from every strain of flu,
Mm-hmm.
but the ones that they see are going to be the most problematic or the most long lasting, those are the ones that they put in the vaccine. And so even if you do get a flu strain, it won't be as horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get a flu shot, you might as well get it at CVS Pharmacy.
Exactly.
It's a good place to go.
The Minute Clinic, I think they call it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're excited
Cool.
to see you again, third year in a row.
Yep.
Joe Colin.
Excellent.
Until next week.
Until next
find
week.
us at Facebook. Find
Yes.
us at Facebook at
Please, for the love of
facebook.com.
God, find us at freaking Facebook.
We need to crack 700. We've been at like 699 forever. We need
my
to crack
gosh.
700. Like us
Just
on
like
Facebook.
us. Jeez Louise.
Please give us validation.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/LaLaLandTalk and also on Twitter at LaLaLandTalk. Or you can send us an email at LaLaLandTalk@gmail.com.
Yep.
And we'll be back next week with Barry Pearl. Until then, I'm Brett Chapin.
I'm Dorothy Dillingham Blue.
This is La La Land on LA Talk Live. We'll see you at the top.